Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our last episode of our season 3 Winning Mondays. In the series where we are really emphasizing on how agents are leveraging on tools and technology to power up their business. As we are finishing up this part of the season, next season, season 4, will be really focusing on the shifting market. But as we go through this season, this week is we wanted to highlight certain success stories or certain strategies that people are using technology to generate leads. But before we go, as we are waiting for people to join us, I want to quickly launch a poll to kind of get everyone's perspective and everyone's thoughts and to align everyone's thoughts to see where they are right now in the area of lead generation, right? So I'm going to launch a poll, and the idea of lead generation is not only about the quality leads, the leads that you get that is bad quality, poor quality, or whatever, but to really, number one, understand the idea of where these leads are coming from, how much is it costing you in terms of cost, how often do you do it, what's the sequence, what is the structure, what's the process in order for you to generate leads, and also not only generate leads, but leverage on how to use those leads in a more effective way. So I'm going to launch 2 questions, and virtual support, please post these questions into the Facebook live chat box as well. So those who are joining us for Facebook, you will be following through with us in answering this question on our poll. So the first question is, what is your average cost per lead? Many people don't sit down and look at how much money they are spending to getting per lead. Now, if you're using iProperty, what's your cost per lead? You need to understand that average. You're using certain things, what's your cost per lead? So answer the first question, what's your average cost per lead? If it's less than 10 ringgit per lead, 10 to 30 ringgit, 30 to 50 ringgit, above 50 ringgit, or I don't pay marketing for my leads, that's fine as well. How often do you launch Second question is, how often do you launch campaigns with KW Command? Every week, once a month, less than once a month. I don't use KW campaigns. So please put in the chat box, put in the poll, and we want to hear from everyone right now. There are about close to 50, 60 people here right now. So I want us to kind of quickly all of us participate if you can. It's a very simple poll. First question is, what is your average cost per lead? Now, if you are using iProperty or Property Guru or any of the portals or HProp, that's a place where you're getting leads. You should know what's your cost per lead there. If you're using Google Ads search, you're using Facebook marketing campaigns, what's your cost per lead? You should know that right now. Now, okay, second is, how often do you launch campaigns with KW Command? Every week, once a month, less than once a month. I don't use KW Command at all. Right. Yeah, come on, guys. I would like to see more people answering the poll. There are only about 35 people, 35% of the people are answering the poll. I will encourage you to just answer the poll so that we understand and you understand where you are. Some thoughts, some questions to help you kind of learn and understand where you are in terms of your cost per lead. Just do an estimation calculation, and then you might need a little bit of time to calculate what's your cost per lead. But just give an estimation based on what you have done and where you are, right? What's your current cost per lead? And number 2 is, how often do you use to launch campaigns with KW Command? Right. Come on, put it there, guys. I would like to see more people participating. Some of you only participating, very few of you are participating, guys. We need to see at least 60%, 70% people participating in the poll. I would encourage you to do that. Let's take a look at the Facebook poll. What's happening in Facebook right now? Yeah, okay, nobody is responding to the poll yet. Cool. Right, we've got almost 50% participating, guys. Just please answer the question, what's your average cost per lead for those who have just joined us? And how often do you launch campaigns with KW Command? Right, maybe 2 or 3 more people, if you can participate, it will be very helpful for us to understand where you are. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 10 more seconds. I'm going to close the poll. All right, poll is closed. Right, I'm going to share the results. I'm going to ask Nick to come in. Nick, our Chief Technology Officer. Good morning, Nick. Thank you for joining us. Nick, when you look at this chart here, what are some of your thoughts when you look at this result here in terms of the poll? What are some of your thoughts?
At first, as I was monitoring the poll, I was saying that, hey, that everybody pay for their marketing leads. So then as you keep encouraging more people to participate, then actually there are about 13% of them actually don't pay for marketing. And I would say the majority of user actually, a big part of a user actually spend more than 30 ringgit and above. So there's about like 38, close to 40% of our user, and 50% of our user actually spend less than 30 ringgit. And we also have 35% of our user actually spend less than 10 ringgit. I believe that there will be a lot of these people who actually have less than 10 ringgit. Potentially, they are basically the user of KW campaigns.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Nick. And I wanted to ask you, Nick, why do you think it's important for us to kind of have a perspective of what's our cost per lead? Because I think a lot of people don't sit down and think through, okay, this is my cost per lead. How do I add? So why do you think cost per lead understanding is important? Why do you think we need to track how much money you're spending cost per lead?
I think it's very important. As we want to track our goal, we track our opportunities. It's also important for us to track our costs. I think as a business owner, all of us understand that tracking the expenses is extremely important. But how detailed do we actually go to track the expenses? And in regards of the leads, I think this is where we spend the most money on in generating leads. Generating the right prospect for our business. So hence understanding the cost per leads and per channel. So assuming that today you run ads on Facebook, you run ads on Google, and you run ads on property portals. And if let's say you run if you run physical campaigns and events, you open both and all. So it's very important for us to track where is the source of all these leads come from, and how much do we actually spend, and whether the return of investment that you actually have per channel actually makes sense to you or not, and which channel actually give you the best leads, which channel give you the most leads, and which channel actually the most effective for you in terms of marketing your business.
Right. Why don't people track this, Nick? Because I realize that a lot of people, especially in the real estate industry, and I'm looking at a general perspective, not only specifically to certain people, but generally most agents, when I ask them this question, a lot of them don't really know this answer. Why do you think people don't track?
I think number one, they don't know how to track it. I think, and also the visibility to track it is kind of like tough, right? Because you've got so many things that you're doing and you're always on the move, you're always going, and you just keep going and keep going. Hence, it's actually tough to have the culture and also have the awareness that you actually need to track it. But the moment that you start to build this habit, the moment that you start to be sensitive to the numbers, then
Right.
you start to know that you're going to play a real game. Because
Right.
once you know your number, that you're in the right game. Otherwise, you'll be just shooting in the dark, right? Oh, let's try this. Let's try. Then you'll be trying a lot of things. And often a lot of agents that I spoke to, like the last 6 months, when we ask them which channel actually give you the best return of investment, so we're thinking we're not too sure. So like it would be good to start tracking it right now. Yeah, it's not hard as long as you actually willing and have the intention to do it.
Yeah, and the other flip side is there are people we say, oh, that doesn't work, this doesn't work, is because they're not tracking, they don't really realize what they're doing.
Yes,
right?
Yes, exactly. So this often comebacks, right? Yeah, you point it out really good. So I say, it is oh, I got a poor leads, no, this doesn't work and that doesn't work. So when we actually ask them the real questions, right? How many of those are actually bad leads that you're actually talking about? Assuming that you have 100 leads actually come to your campaign, do we actually measure how many percent of them actually into different funnel, different stages, and how many of it that you're still following up, and hence once you actually go down to the numbers, then you will realize that, hey, our focus is actually not right when we talk about, hey, the leads are bad and the leads are not responding. So the moment that we look at the big picture, they say, hey, actually we have a lot of quality leads to follow up from this particular campaign. Yeah, often that is the answer. Yeah.
Yes, because we don't have the clear sight of what's the reality, then we begin to think through what we assume. So a lot of times we go into the danger of assumption, and because of the assumption, we miss out a lot of things. So what we want is a very good educated guess. And I use the word educated guess is because you got to be educated on how and where your money is getting results and how the result is looking like based on the channels that you have. I think most agents today should be omni-channel, shouldn't be single channel. I think omni-channel is okay, but it's just that you need to know which one works and scale from there. So I think today, just to have this conversation to help us to navigate through and having some examples, real life examples, we have met 3 of our agents. So we have with us all, and somehow 3 agents are all from Market Center 1. So we have Jesnin, welcome Jesnin from Market Center 1. We also have Murali. Murali is a second time joining us on this call. He's all the way from Setiawan, right? And I want to just challenge everyone, if Murali from Setiawan can do this listing, you guys in KL should be able to do it, right? And then we have Francis, right? Francis, I'm not sure where is he right now. He's always flying around. I'm not sure where is he right now. I'm not sure whether he's in this same planet as us, but he's always traveling around, right? So welcome, Jesnin, Murali,
welcome everyone.
To be part of this conversation. And I want to quickly, just for the benefit of some of us who have not met them, maybe from Jesnin, maybe could you introduce yourself and give yourself a little bit about your background in real estate?
Oh, sure. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to have me here. I joined Rickfield Sunway in 2014, but then I left the industry 3 years later. It's because of I'm not used to be a solo agent, and after that, 2019, my good friend Chris Lim invited me to join KW Malaysia, and I was attracted to the technology that KW Malaysia have. And therefore, I came back to that industry just right before the MCO.
Right.
Yeah, right before MCO, I started in 2020.
Yeah, which location do you cover mostly, Jesnin?
Myself, I only focus in Superlink, Semidi and Bungalows. I'm actually farmed in this Lakefield, Sungai Bersih,
Yes.
and Ampang,
Right.
Cheras, and Bukit Jalil.
Right, Cheras, Ampang, Bukit Jalil, and Lakefield, Sungai Bersih. Thank you for sharing, Jesnin. Okay, next, Francis. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, morning. I've been in industry for 3.5 years, maybe 3.5, yeah. And I joined Redfield about 11 months and 2 weeks ago. And I cover pretty much residential in KLCC, Monkera, and Langkawi.
KLCC, Monkera, and Langkawi. Are you sure you're no other territory that you go to? Like is there another planet or something like that you sell real estate? You don't have, right? Because you'll be on the go kind of guy. Okay, all is good. Okay, cool. Murali, how about you, Murali? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what's your area of focus and how's your business like?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Murali. All right. So currently, I'm a professional estate agent at Redfield Properties HQ. I've been in this industry for about 5 years. Right. So I joined real estate around 2017. Right. So at the moment, I'm focusing my real estate business covering Setiawan Perak area.
Right. Okay, I'm going to start with you, Murali, first, because your market is very unique. It's not in Klang Valley. And I assume that a lot of times the portals and all that don't really cover a lot of leads for you before joining KW. Let me ask you a quick question. Before joining KW Malaysia, where are your main source of leads coming from? How you get leads to sell properties in your market?
How do I get my leads? Is it?
Yes, correct.
Okay, before I joined Redfield Properties, I joined Redfield Properties only last year, so it's already been about 11 months. So before this, my main source of leads are based on the depends. You see, if for projects means I will usually use Facebook ads. But then Facebook ads, the cost of advertisement is very high, and then it requires a very complicated settings, to generate the leads. You see, so right. That is one. Some of the cost per leads also may go up to 25 ringgit per leads, or even more than that. You see, and after that, after some time, for me doing this kind of things like very complicated for me. It's not very time consuming. So I hired a digital marketer, to do the work for me. So digital marketer, I'm paying the guy, I'm paying around $100 per week, and he is able to generate around 2 to 5 leads per day. So in average, you see. So, but then the cost per leads would be around at least $4.
Right. So you pay $100 to work for you, but the cost per lead is you still have to pay.
Average $4. And after I joined Redfield Properties, right? So when I using the KW Facebook campaign, so it's already cut down my expenses to at least half. So now my average cost would be around $2 per leads.
So you have got a 50% reduction in your cost per lead from KW Command. So before that, you were doing everything on your own. Do you rely on portals in your business, in your area?
Come again? Property portals, is it?
Yes, you use property portals.
Yes, of
in your
course.
area?
Yeah, I've used Muda.my,
Right.
and HProp. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Francis, how about you, Francis? Before KW, how were you getting your leads from, and where are you getting your leads from before joining us? Right.
Oh, my story is a bit more dramatic. So back then, because from shifting from another profession to real estate, so I don't have a lot of fun to actually do advertisement. So we kind of have a pool fund. So, and you chip in and then you do ads or even share an account in iProperty or something like that. So but the leads does go up to about, depending on area, it just goes up to about 100 ringgit as well for some in Monkera.
Right.
Which is a lot. And my pool fund is so little, I probably get 2 leads in that particular time frame. Yeah.
Right. And since joining KW, what's the cost per lead right now?
Vary on the property itself. I get as low as 77 cents USD.
Right.
And higher so far, I think for the high-end ones, cost me about $5 to $6.
$5-6 per lead.
Very durable, yeah.
So it ranges from 77 cents to $5-6 per lead, right? And how do you feel about generally once using this tool versus previously when you were using other tools? How do you feel about the experience of doing lead generation in this manner using our technology?
First of all, it's very easy to create a campaign, and it's quite addictive actually.
Quite addictive.
Yeah, because it's so cheap, right? Then you just keep posting and posting and posting and posting. At times, I have like 10 campaigns running, and then the leads just keep coming in, and you have no idea. I mean, I know where they came from, but
you're having a lot of fun running campaigns.
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
Right. So it's fun, it's addictive, and it's simple, right? That's your experience. Jesnin, how about you, Jesnin? When you were not using, like previously before you joined us back in 2020, in your previous journey as real estate agent then, right? How were you generating leads?
Okay, so back to 2014, that time, I don't think the technology is actually so popular yet. We used to advertise in the web portal. So I actually put all my listing in the web portals and also the star property, like every morning we come and then we go through all the spa paper, right? And then you advertise at the star paper. Right.
And that was the way you're doing it. And how much would it cost you to do that in those days?
Not much, I would say, because I don't really, I always place red light and green light, so I don't really spend a lot for web portals. Right. I'm more on the prospective base and marketing enhance. So,
so you reach out to people, you reach out to your database more often.
Yeah, focus on investors.
Right. And fast forward right now, 2020, you join us. We launched campaigns, I think August 2020. You quickly jump on it. What's your experience now and what's the cost per lead there right now?
The experience, I think it's quite painful initially when you started using campaign because we actually gone through a lot of try and errors. So generally good. Just that you need time to have all these try and errors. And once you master it, it's very quickly you can do it.
Right. And what's your current cost per lead right now?
My cost per lead for landed property sub-sale, about 19 cents. Lowest is 19 cents, average about 30 to 50 cents.
Average to 30 to 50 cents cost per lead. Now, you are selling what kind of houses again?
Superlink, Samidi, and bungalows.
And what's the average price per unit right now in those places that are selling?
Oh, above $1 million, 1 million to 5 million.
Right. And you're getting 35 cents to 50 cents per lead.
Yes.
Right. Okay. How many of you want to learn from Jesnin and get 30 to 50 cents per lead for a bungalow and Superlink? If you want to, please press 5 on the chat box right now. Please press 5 on the chat box right now. Okay. Right. Only 2%, 3%. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing, Jesnin. Now, Nick, when you hear all these 3 conversations, just now you hear these 3 different people talking about their experiences, what are some of your thoughts that come to your mind?
Some of the thoughts that I have is, I think number one, that we can arrange some masterclass for Jesnin to basically come in to basically show us how she get, because the last that we showcase her case is basically about 75 cent average year lifetime cost per lead, and now she shared with us is 50 cent. So you can see that you're gonna continue to reduce, and the worldwide we're talking about $1 per lead, right? And her average benchmark is about 50 cents. Amazing. And another aha I actually gets from this is actually, it doesn't matter how we do it. And I like what Francis says, right? It's so enjoyable doing it because it's that cheap, and also it's like we can afford to make a lot of try and error. We can afford to test it, and often we see a lot of agents who are so hovering into one ads and two ads. But imagine that you can actually run 10 ads and running at the same time and really see and test it enough to show that which ads actually works and best for you. Yeah.
Right. I think it's all about playing around with it and being curious and having the desire to want to find a way to get the best cost per lead. So when you can only do that when you're aware right now, what's your current cost per lead right now? What in your own business, even though you're not using campaigns or any other very online marketing system, but really you have to ask yourself, if I hang a banner, that's a cost there to hang a banner. If I bring a person out for lunch, there is a cost there for that lunch, right? So everything you do for marketing to generate leads, there is a cost. Find out what's the cost per lead, because when you know what's the cost per lead, you begin to figure out what's the best way to spend money that gives you the best amount of leads, that will give you the best amount of quality, because the quality is always in the quantity. Now, Nick, our understanding today is that you're going to have conversation with some of our guests here and help them to go through some demos. How many of you want to see some of our guests, how they are doing, how they're using command in a very high level, and what's the examples? How many of you want to see that right now? If you want to see that, please press 8. If you want to see what they're doing now, please press 8. Okay, so Nicholas, kind of help us take over the session to kind of go through this journey with everyone here.
Yes,
right.
let's instead of just hearing them sharing with us how good is it, and you know, let's look, let them share screen and share with us the real things, right? Let's go behind the scene to see how they basically do it. So I'm gonna just get Francis to come and share with us. Now, what does KW campaigns actually gonna look like, and can you do a demonstration for us? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So now we're seeing his real dashboard now.
Share now or something?
Yeah, yes. It's going to be exciting to see how do you actually enjoy doing all this campaign.
Okay, wait. Let me.
So you want to explain to us the dashboard and some of the ads that you have?
So basically, what you are seeing now, it's all the campaigns, the active one and the one that completed. So have about like 50 all together. And here we go. So there's only 6 steps to create a campaign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a campaign now. So this is step 1, social paid ads, advertise listing. So basically this is for me to see, so I know which one I'm advertising. So I'm going to go on Facebook and Instagram.
So that's the first step.
The first step, that's done.
Can you also share with us, like, why do you choose advertise listing? Because there are also many other
no, I don't choose advertise listing. Those listings are from H props. So I usually have my own thing. So because I do my own designs and all that. So this is step 2 on the text. So whatever you see on the left, it's what I am going to write. And the one on the right, it's what will appear on the Facebook. Okay. So I have prescripted my tags. So what happened is when I'm free, I'll just, you know, my finger is a bit faster with the phone, so I'll pre-do it. So copy. So this is the main tags. I'll put it on here. So this is how it looks like on the Facebook. Yeah. Then the headlines.
So this is the current property that you are basically marketing right now, right? So you're showing us the real case.
Yeah. So I'm going to post this because I've been holding this back. So. Okay, and then this is how it looks like. The main headline will show up in bolted. And so in terms of wording, so this is how it looks like, yeah. So this will appears on your phone soon.
Mhm.
So that's step 2. Then step 3, post some pictures. So what happens is when I'm free, I'll use Canva to do my design. So I've done it last night, taking me about 5 minutes. So
Yeah, 5 minutes, you're saying?
yeah, it takes me, I mean, yeah, 5 minutes for me to design all this 5. So that's picture 1. So this is how it looks like. Put more. So picture number 2. So for someone who can't design with or don't know how to use Canva, we actually have a feature to help you to actually design poster as well. It's simple as just changing text and pictures. So you can go up to 5 pictures. So I'll maximize it. So voila, this is how it looks like. Yeah.
So you're gonna post the same 5 pictures. Is it gonna go live?
Yeah, different pictures. It's the same design, but it's 5 different pictures. The kitchens, the bedrooms, the master bath.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I just had to put logo on it on the rip fill. That's it. That's step number 3. So step 4, to advertise from, it will show like who sponsored, who paid for it. It leads you to the page that the advertiser. So I'm going to use one of my page. This I use
We have a lot of page.
Yeah, I separate them. So this is for international market. Yeah. Then learn more website. I just have to put my
how easy it is to connect your page, to connect command to your page, to your Facebook page.
Put aside the what you call that, the approval. It takes about 5-10 minutes max.
10 minutes, okay, it's great. So it's
Yeah,
very easy for
waiting for Facebook approval.
Yeah.
So I put my contact under my website, and then
so the website URL. I see that is basically the WhatsApp actually go to your
my WhatsApp number,
WhatsApp.
so they can actually reach me through WhatsApp. Yeah. So I'm gonna try. I never tried this before, so let's try this. Let's try Hong Kong.
Okay, you're gonna target Hong Kong. Yeah, in fact, you can target anywhere in the world. Yeah.
So I've never been to Hong Kong, so I did some research where to hit this one to try out. So this is my first trial. Anyone been to Hong Kong before? I know Repulsion. Tsim Sha Tsui is supposedly to be high-end area, right?
Yeah, Tsim Sha Tsui, yeah, the rain state.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
Tsim Sha Tsui is central. That's on the Hong Kong island.
Okay, let's do this. So 25 kilometers, enough? Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so that's step 4. Step 5, because I run several campaigns, so I want to know what campaign this comes from. So I will put a text so that I know when I receive the leads. So I'll put RCRHK. So when I receive a lead that comes in, so I know where this is from. At tag. So RCRHK. So this is step 5. So now step 6. So let's say I start from tomorrow, and I run it for 31st Merdeka. So that's 15 days. So budget, you can go as low as $10 for the entire campaign. So I'm going to go at 30. So that is step 6. That's pretty much it. Okay. So then after you hang on. This is safe. So all 6 steps, and I have to view one more time. Does it look okay? Attractive enough? Yeah. Okay. So after that, we just have to publish the campaign. You click, and I have my credit card saved inside here. So before I create, I'll usually add a campaign. I will say, leave the invocation, make sure that the right people sees my ads and bring abundance and prosperity. So be it. So let's do it. So you just have to wait for a little moment.
Yeah, we can see the 6 steps are very simple for anyone to basically just want to launch a campaign with KW campaign. Yeah.
Voila. So it's done. So what happened is now it's just pending review. We just have to wait for Facebook to approve it.
Right, thanks, Francis. Very good. Thanks for sharing this. If any one of you have any questions for Francis or any of the guest speaker, feel free to just type it on Facebook, a live chat, and also on our Zoom chat channel. Then we'll actually pick up the question and actually post it to our panel speakers. All right, thanks, Francis. Thanks a lot. So let's move to Murali. All right, so would you want to share with us like some of your successful campaign? No, since we know like how it's done by Francis, now we'd like to share with us like how successful are you in running those campaigns, especially when you're targeting area that is not in Klang Valley. Yep.
I have find more successful outside Klang Valley than other areas, because I think there's a lot of agents also advertising. The fact that we are having a lower cost. But the thing is, there are a lot of agents around Klang Valley, so there's a lot of ads going out. And of course, having said that, you've been sabotaged at times by people. So, but when it's outside, like when I sell property in Langkawi, it's almost like 100% genuine that comes in. So, it's better whether they like the property or not, or we just have to divert them to another one.
Right. So, Francis, can I just clarify? You have done campaigns that's targeting other countries before outside of Klang Valley.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Right.
I did for Brunei, Australia, Singapore. Singapore wasn't that great, but being Singaporean, so I've done where else? This mainly Australia and Brunei to capture for the branded residences.
Right. And have you gotten?
I've got connected with them, and we actually have like Zoom sessions to present those things. So some of them are consideration, things like that.
Right. Any success so far from the international market outside of Malaysia?
I did, yeah. I just had one recently, but he flew in. He's German. He lives in Turkey, and he actually flew to Langkawi 3 weeks ago, and he bought a penthouse in Langkawi.
Right.
So these are leads that you generated, or this is your SOI?
I cannot. I cannot remember whether the leads generated or from one of the property platform.
Right. But you are clear you're using this to focus on outside of Malaysia clientele. That's very clear. You're very clear about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Francis. Let's move to Murali to share with us like some of your successful campaigns. So you're muted, right? So let's do unmute yourself. Okay, now you're on. So you can go back to your first, yes, your successful campaign.
Okay, I'm just going through some of my successful campaigns which I've run before. Okay, around December, I have got a 6 sales booking. So out of this 6 sales booking, 2 of them is the cases is from FP campaign, all right. And also in January, I've got 3 sales booking, and 3 of these sales booking, came from Keller William Facebook campaign, you see. So the campaign I ran, two of the campaign I've run successfully. One would be like, I was promoting a new projects in Manjong District, Perak. Okay, so for this campaign, I've spent around $30, and then I've got around 16 leads. Right, so the average cost per lead is around $1.88. All right, and the impression for this campaign would be around 9,953 campaigns. You see, so that means it reached about 9,000 people around my place. And the second one, the second successful campaign would be around. I ran this campaign around January, right, and I spent around $30, and then I managed to get around 14 leads. I spent average about $2.14. And the impression would be around 10,788. Right, same. So these are the two campaigns around between December and January, which gave me cases. 5 cases, 5 sales booking during that period. Right. So and then out of these, these are the settings that I have used for the project selling. I've used different projects. So these are the settings, right? So I think I wouldn't like to elaborate much on this because it's already elaborated.
That's exactly what
I've just
run through just now. Yeah.
This part, and the second one is a single project, right? So these are the settings that I've used for my single project, right? So these are the 2 of my successful campaign, which generates about 5 sales for December and January.
I just want to add here, I noticed that all of Murali's ads are done in Bahasa Melayu. So for those people who think that this is American and only for English, no, it's not. It's international. The computer speaks in all languages, right? So Facebook is multi-language. So it works for Bahasa Melayu as well. Murali, so most of your ads are in BM, right?
Yeah, based on because my location is here. I think there are majority of them are Malay people here, so that's why I did my advertisement mostly in Malay, lah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Would you also share with us what of the messaging that you think works well, right, in terms of the market that you are in?
Come again?
The messaging that actually works well.
Oh, the messaging, okay,
Yeah.
the type, okay. Of course, sometimes, when we are running a Facebook campaign, right? So sometimes if our copywriting is quite good, right? It's really catchy enough, so it might bring more buyers leads, you see. So sometimes we have to do a trial and error, to come up with a suitable photos and also the messaging. So usually the messaging, the type of messaging that, the type of wording I use for my Facebook campaign would be like, these are the words, the copywriting words, selling fast, hot sale, and sometimes I also mention the salary requirement. So I say maybe, okay, for this project, if you want to buy this project, you just need to have about 2,500 salary, you see, and then cheapest in the market, and then some of the catchy words like free monthly installment for 2 years. For 2 years they don't really need to pay any installment, but they will figure out. You see, they will call me. I want them to call me. You see, to find out how when I buy this property. For 2 years, no need to pay. So they want to find out more, you see. So, and then few units only available. So it's this kind of words like maybe create the urgency for them to contact us. Maybe they will be scared, the unit will be sold off. So these are some of the words, like you see. And then these are some of the, these 2 pictures you can see here. So, the advertisements are example of advertisement I've done before. Okay, one is a Botanica resident, so it's a Merdeka sale. So, which is 340,000 price, which is one of the it's the very cheapest double story we can get. It's that one. And yeah, the second one is would be Manjong. There is no project. There's no new project, so I come up with this. There's one more new housing project in Manjong. So to figure out, people in Manjong will figure out, oh, there's another new project coming, so they want to find out what is the new project in Manjong, you see. So these are a sample of good wordings I've done, and pictures wise, of course, we want to catch the attention of the buyers. We have to present them a very good pictures, so these pictures sometimes I get from the developers may give me good pictures, or if let's say I didn't get pictures from the developer, I would really go to the show house there, and then take, bring. Of course, our camera also must be very good to snap a very good picture. So these are sample of the pictures I've used for my Facebook campaign. Yep. So that's all.
Interesting. I realized that it's also very important. One of the tips that I hear from Murali is basically that he's sensitive towards the markets, what's happening in that in the market area that's he's marketing on. That that hey, there's no new projects. No, let's talk about that, and that will increase a lot of interest from people. Yeah, well done. Yeah. Okay, let's move to Jesnin now. Jesnin, yes, you're back.
Yes. Okay, I just want to make the clarification. So my average leads is still about below 80 cents. Just that I have two projects.
On a specific campaigns, yeah?
Yeah. Just I have actually two projects. Project marketing is the lowest one is $1.50 and the highest is $4. So it's the average out. But my landed properties are average about 30 to 50 cents. So your average out is about 75 cents. Yeah.
Good. Got it. Thanks for clarification, Jesnin. That's good. All right. So how has your experience been in using command, in using campaigns in commands? Would you like to share with us some of your success stories as well?
Sure.
Let's give us some how's your campaign actually look like, right? Because of this 31 cent, 50 cent average that you actually get. Yeah. How does those campaigns actually look like?
Let me share.
Should we get compliments from 50 that say so handsome, no wonder so laku is one for you, really? It's good. So that's why he's keep marketing himself. Yeah. So there's some questions. Well, okay, let's back to Jesnin before I put some questions to Francis from the chat.
Yeah, I think this one, some of you may have seen it before, but I just want to explore further. These are the three projects that, these are the three properties that I have closed. Yeah, and the total value is about 8 million. Yeah, it's about 8 million. And this is one of them. And the second one is Cheras Bangro. And the third one is the PHP project, Bangsa Hilbak project. Okay.
So all these are basically the three sales that you actually accomplish through command.
Yes, correct.
Would you like to share with us? There's a meme that's moving around, right? You actually close all these in one viewing.
The success wouldn't come overnight. I actually spend a lot of time, me and my partner. I actually have a partner. She's good in social media. She's good in content writing. The photo is taken by me, and we will have like weekly discussion. What are the ads that we want to put up? What is the unique selling point? And who are the target audience and target location? Yeah.
So how has it been for yourself, like since the beginnings of using? I think you actually tested a lot of ads till you actually reach this stage where you actually achieve success actually much faster right now compared to time in the past. Would you like to share with us the journey?
Okay. We actually started in November, if I'm mistaken, November 2020, right? We have this. We started with a very small amount because I really think that in order to get a good result, you really need to think. You need to start small and think big and dive deep. So, and we actually try for about a year already, and until that we have this success story. Because initially, I think we need to go through like start small. You need to really go for the experiment. In social media marketing, you definitely need to spend money, but then you need to be very good in control your costs, right? And we have all the try and errors until we have the successful model, or successful model lah. Yeah. And it's very important that when you put up the ads, let me just share a little bit. It is to have the nice picture, right? The most important thing is actually the picture must be high resolution. And
that's the first tips, everybody. Let's take note of that. The high resolutions, nice photo is important. So that's first tips.
Yes, you have to see what are the unique selling point of that property. And you just take that picture and put it up. And I think people not so much on about selling the house. I think very important is actually we are not selling the house. We're actually selling the benefits when you come into the marketing. A lot of times that maybe we have made this mistake that we sell house. No, we just feature and focus on all the info about the house itself. But I think consumer actually wants when they buy a house is because of they want who they want to be and the life that they want to live. So my ads, just for sharing our ads, we usually focus a lot on the environment and also the lifestyle they're going to have. The
lifestyle and the value they actually get out of this property.
I if I look at the Ampang ad, right? I mean, it's a bungalow. Everyone knows what's a bungalow, but everyone wants a pool that looks like this.
That stand out.
That stand out, and I'm curious to see what is this bungalow on. So if I'm a person, that pool is very important to me, and having that pool with a nice environment, and that's my dream, right? To have a pool. I mean, I never had a house with a pool like this, but I always like to have a pool. But my wife said no because she has to. She asked me this question: who's going to clean? So if I want to attract my wife, I will put a cleaner there. The house comes with a cleaner. That's a different story. Then maybe my wife might be interested. But the perspective is really about creating that opportunity to showcase the feature of the house that matter to me, that will speak to my personal desire. I think that's very important. Thank you for bringing it out, Jesnin. I think a lot of times we are very hard on the facts. We just want to go on the facts of the property. But what you have just told us just now is you have to think about how you want the consumer to feel when they look at the property. How can they connect with the property, right? So that's very important. So and I like this tool. I like this picture about the ad on the bungalow with the pool. I think that makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, correct. And also very important that is the caption. The caption that you really need to tell story that actually you're right, John, is to capture their attention and also to let them live in their own dream. So for us is to sell the future for them. This is not to sell the product to them.
Right, that's right.
Good, thanks, Jesnin. That's very encouraging to see that, and we actually learned a lot in terms of like the mind behind of creating ads, not just about featuring all the features of the property, but so much more of the USP, the right pictures that are going to attract. And we talk about attraction marketing over here, so we want to attract the right buyer, and hence we can basically see from Jesnin after a year of trial and error, they managed to come to these ads, and all these 3 ads actually sold within 1 viewing.
Yes, correct.
Results, right, that you actually gotten, and you only spend, I think that for these 3 ads you spend less than about how much money in the total of these 3 ads that you actually spent?
I think it's less than 100 USD.
Less than 100 USD for the 3 ads in total. Yeah, actually I forgot the statistics, and the whoopings like I think it's about 168,000 in terms of commissions that you actually gotten just for these 3 ads.
The commission itself is 193,000. I think one thing good about command campaign is I was not doing well during the pandemic. I was so nervous, but then because I need to send our son to overseas for study, so I was praying for miracle happen, and this happened. So I only know that to create a miracle, you really need to do something is different.
Right.
You really need to do very boldly, on whatever marketing that you need to put. So I think I have very thankful to, of course, God, and also very thankful to KW Malaysia or KW Regional for all the trainings I have attended, and also for this KW Command campaign. I think without this, I wouldn't be able to achieve this amount of commission within such a short period. So I actually achieved this 3 just within 3 months.
Right.
Yeah, all this within the period of 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason actually we have received a lot of inquiries when we started these 3 posts, just that it was during MCO. It was a total lockdown for a few months, so we can't proceed with any viewings and any viewings appointments. Just imagine if you don't do online marketing, there's no way for you to reach out to the right target audience.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm very thankful for the opportunity. Yeah.
Wow,
And
fantastic.
this amount of money really have enough fund for my son to go study overseas next month.
Right. I'm so encouraged to hear this, that how KW campaigns changed the life of your family and your business because you were persevering and you're using the tools at the highest level. So thank you for giving us the perspective, and also thank you for sharing with your story. So it's a very wonderful and powerful story. For those who are listening today, if you really need a breakthrough in your business, maybe generating leads from here will help you right now, just as Jesnin has done it. So maybe you could then we had a fulfilling life by running campaigns on Facebook with KW Command. Right. Nick, anything else you want to carry on?
Yep, I think it's in terms of demonstrations from teams over here. I think it's like they've showcased. In case of anyone have more questions that you want us to show demonstrations, feel free this time on the chat that we can basically just do more. And it inspires back to John to ask the rest of the other questions that you have.
I think there are a few questions on the chat box just now that I think we might have missed out. I think the first question was, can we use our mobile WhatsApp as a homepage link? The answer is yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
And for Fifi, for international market, I think this is more for Francis. Do you write Malaysia or just Kuala Lumpur in your ads? That's a very interesting question.
I don't quite understand the question though.
So meaning in your ads, do you say it's Kuala Lumpur?
The location that you choose.
The location that you choose. Are you telling people that is Malaysia at Ritz-Carlton, Malaysia, or Kuala Lumpur?
I put Kuala Lumpur.
You put Kuala Lumpur. Okay, cool. Right.
If I may explain.
Yeah,
the reason why I ask is because a lot of people outside don't know Malaysia. So they know Kuala Lumpur, but they don't know Malaysia. That's why I asked whether it's intentional to leave out the Malaysia or like that lah. That's
I'm quite sure many people in Hong Kong will know Kuala Lumpur is Malaysia.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for asking that question.
Malaysia is one of the very more favorite country for them to migrate to. I know for the past 2 years, I have some Hong Kong investor came in 3 months ago. So she was saying that during the lockdown time, they were diverting to the UK. So, but somehow after they actually shifted to the UK and it's a communication barrier. So now they're actually coming back to Malaysian side. So I'm quite sure they know Malaysia very, very well.
Yes, yes, we're proud to be Malaysians also.
Right. Another
question.
question.
Question from Paswan also, right?
Yes,
That's how long would you take to build trust from buyer, from first contact until finished transaction? Maybe we can actually pose this question to three speakers today. How long would you take to build a trust from a buyer and from the first contact until you finish transactions? So who would like to take first? Murali?
I guess when the lead coming from Facebook, how long do you need to build trust with them? What do you do to build trust until you finish the transaction? Maybe Murali, to share from your side, when you get the lead in, how do you help to build trust that the client trusts you and then follow you for appointment and then eventually book the unit? How do you do it, Murali, once the lead comes into you?
Yeah, thank you, John. All right. So when the moment they call me for the inquiries, right? So for me, the first important thing is that I have to really do a filtration there. So I have to really make sure that they are eligible to get the loan, to buy the house. That's the first part. And then whatever inquiries they made pertaining to the properties, I've really explained them about the properties. And then after that, definitely I will push them to come for viewing, So when they look at their own eyes, so that's really they can convince them, to buy the property, So in between any calls, any inquiries, any kind of details, sales kit, present, so all sort of things, I will update them regularly, So these are the things that I will done from the moment I get the inquiry until I bring them to appointment, viewing appointment, and close the sales. Yeah.
So meaning you actually sit down and you work with them and saying that, hey, how can I help you pre-qualify for loan first? You're always talking about financial, giving them advice.
Yeah, the loan part is very important because everyone come to me. They have a different. I mean, there will be a different cases. You see, some people will be a normal employee. Some people will be a business people. You see, so I want to make sure that the loan part is clear. Before I proceed to the next step.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, and one of the things is Murali will have to showcase to people that I actually know how to help you understand how to get a how to get financing for the property, because don't be surprised and shocked that majority of the people in the market who are clients, who are buyers, they don't understand how to get financing. Don't be surprised. We always think that people know, actually a lot of times they don't, right? So that's where your value in helping them show that you understand how to make it work. And Murali is an example how he understands to get financing, helps to build the trust. Well, then would you trust someone to know how to get things done, or someone who doesn't know how to get things done? All of us would trust someone who knows how to get things done. And Murali just demonstrated by asking those questions. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else, Francis or Jesnin, how would you build trust when you get a lead from the face from your campaigns to start the journey? How would you build trust?
I think very important is the speed of replying messages. That's number one. But I have these challenges because of most of the leads will come in during 10:30 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. But those leads are the most
quality one.
Yeah, quality one, and they are really serious about this property. And the second thing is, you really need to act very fast. Okay, and second thing is to build relationship, continues to build relationship. As I say, you have to start small, have the experiment, go through all the process. Although the process sometimes it will fail, sometimes it's painful, but that is just a process. So you have to trust the journey until you find the winning formula. And you have to think big, like what is the 5 years plan? To me, I'm actually very excited about the KW command or this campaign thing. You really have to set for the 3 and 5 years plan, the long-term plan, and how do you want to have the game plan. And the thing is dive deep. So in the midst of going through the dive deep for my next step, so how to convert your database to data bank, because data bank is money.
Right.
It's the value, it is the relationship. I leverage a lot on the command system. Just use all the command tools to build relationship, nurture the relationship, and have the trust relationship with customers. So I use a lot of touch points. Either it is from KW or my personal customized touch points. Yeah, and also KW activates, and also KW 360, and I'm going into the smart plan and opportunities.
Right.
Take one step at a time.
Right.
Because I'm not tech-savvy people. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. Francis, how about you? How would you advise building trust in your agents? I mean, your clients. I'm sorry.
Okay. Depending on where the property is it's located. Like for example, if I'm going for KLCC, right? Most of those branded residences, I will go in depth in terms of I will ask them where they're actually from and what kind of services they're looking for. I would be going for something like high investment in return or that, because like things like Ritz-Carltons or economies, those are high-end collections. They wanted services with free valet parking, and they can go internationally and they see the same thing. They have the certain standard that they expected everywhere they want. But before I actually bring them to the property, I will ask them go in depth of where they actually come from. And some might get offended, you're asking too much details, but I'll explain to them, because of these places are high-end area, these are high net worth people staying inside, and you actually have royal family staying inside. I can't simply bring you in without doing due diligence, and that will the same thing that if you are going to stay there, I can't simply bring anyone to come and view that property. So I think it's depending on which area you're looking at.
Wow, that's a very interesting perspective, how you think about educating your client about the location and helping them see what kind of and really understanding them, in fact, finding first before you really bring that connection. Right. And a lot of us don't do fact finding. We straight away, hey, you want to buy something, let's go. And we don't realize what their needs are, what they don't want, what they want, what they like, what they don't like. And we end up always saying that, oh, they're not a serious buyer. But because we are not serious enough as an agent to take the initiative, and I always argue there's always, we may not have enough serious agents in the market. We got a lot of serious buyers. There's underserved. And Francis just brought a very good point. How many of us are really interested about understanding what our client needs are by asking those questions, right? And that's how you build trust. So Fazwa, I hope you got the answer today. Be very curious and very caring, coming from contribution to want to understand what are the needs of your client. That's how you build trust. Thank you so much. I'm going to go with the questions here, Nick. There's so many questions here today. I think it's interesting, right? The next question by Norine is, I'm always having problem when it comes to choosing the area of target. How do you decide, and anything else to consider? How would you answer this question, anyone? I think in the geographical targeting area, I don't know which one to target for that ad. How would you decide? That's a good question. Who wants to answer that question?
I think I can answer that. Just spend a very small amount to test out the location first. Yeah. So spend like 10 USD. I always start with only 10 USD for 5 days just to test out the area. If you have received the leads on the following days, means it works. If it's not, then you just stop the campaign and rerun a new one.
Right. Very good point, Jesnin. It's all about testing. So we don't know because we don't understand many factors that helps people to respond to our ads, but we can do testing. Like Nick, what do you think about testing? Is testing something that most of us sometimes are not comfortable with? How do you address testing as an issue, Nick?
How do you address the issues? The issue is just do it, because testing is extremely important, because if you don't test, and oftentimes when like we as an agent or we as a marketer, when we run our ads, we're so happy with the content we have, we're so happy with the pictures, and say, hey, I think this is gonna work. But you didn't realize that, hey, how come it didn't work? Because you didn't actually test enough. So when you test enough, there's only 3 key things that you want to test, right? I think the one is location, second is actually the image, and the third image or the video, or the third is the copy. So this is mainly these 3 things. So the main things of running these ads is actually to find the best ads that actually bring you the best results. It's not so much about how many leads do I generate. That's going to come for very sure, but you want to optimize your ads and continue to test. So you actually have to keep testing, right? So, but test one thing at a time. So if you want to test location, make sure image and the copy is the same, so that you want to find out that, hey, this is the location that's going to bring me the best result. So once you actually identify the location, I think the next thing is like the location got to be constant, and then you actually test the different images from there. Right. Then you're able to see that, hey, the testing. And I just want to go into a little bit in terms of the area of targets, right? There are actually few things to consider. I think number one is which location do you want to target? I think you can actually start from that perspective first. So assuming it's KLCC, I can basically just think, okay, I just want to target people around the area, or I want to actually attract buyer from a different area to actually to come and make the investments over here. So that's the logic behind in terms of the destination and also the origin of the people that you want to bring it over. I think when you look at that way, they're able to see a different way of testing in terms of choosing the area of target. Yeah.
So I think it's the changing of mindset that we have to fix and change, is that we cannot be too obsessed with every single dollar must have a quick return right now. We want things that, for example, instant, but you can only know that if you test it, right? Testing is very important, right? Yes, the next question here is a very good question. It's by KK Lam. And I'm going to ask all 3 of you, what do you do with leads if they're not interested to buy that particular unit? Meaning, if I got a lead that came in, let's say that I have interest to buy a property, but so far your property is not what I like based on what you have described to me, what do you do with them?
Oh, I'll cross-sell. I'll cross-sell the neighbor properties. Or if, for example, that penthouse is like 12 mil, so not everyone can afford to acquire that. So they are always similar size, but 3 times cheaper because it's not branded residence. So maybe you can consider this one, and you still have your twin tower view right in front of you. Right. Okay, thank you for sharing with my friends. You cross-sell, right? What else? Anyone else? What do you do with that database that you just captured? What would you do with it? Anyone else? Murali or Jesnin to share? What would you do with those data?
Yeah, go ahead, Murali.
Probably if let's say if he's not keen to buy the property from, those listings that I have, right? So maybe I would understand from him, what is his preference, what type of property he's looking for, his budget, which area and all this. I try to understand from the requirement from the buyer first, and after that, I'll go through my listing, some other listing which I may have, and I will try to propose to the buyer. If he's still not keen, means maybe I'll contact my other agents nearby my area. You see, so I'll tell them, they're buyers, looking for this type of property, this type of requirement. So if they have the listings that match the buyer's requirement, I'll ask them to send as well. So I'll keep on proposing the buyer, until so he may have interest with other listing as well.
Yeah. Anyway, Jesnin, how about you? What would you do with this database that you just collected?
I will go deep to build the trust relationship. I will ask a lot of questions to do my leads analysis and also manage their expectation. So if I do have the other suitable listing that I will propose. If I don't have, I will see who are the area specialists there and then trying to cross sell. If it's also not match their requirements, then I will just continue to build relationship with them, put them as one of the important VIP and blast them some touch points, personal messages, smart plan, something like that, just to keep them, remain the relationship.
Right. So basically, you'll put in your database and let the database run and really get into a smart plan and activate. And sometimes it's not that they're not interested in that unit; they may not be in the right timing.
Yes, correct.
To buy, right? But we wouldn't know what's their right timing until the timing comes. So just like what Jesnin say, if you put him in a smart plan or an activate plan that will stay in relationship for them for the next 12 months, I promise you'll be in the head of their mind, because no agents follow up for 12 months. Most agents will give up at 12 months. Not even 12 months, 12 weeks or so, they may struggle. So the goal is to use technology to follow up with them long term, so that you keep on having a bunch of database that you have that you're talking to every day. Because the way you should sell property is when you have a good listing, you should think of who are the people that you can bring this listing to right now. That's the idea. Because before you put in the portals and advertisement, right, you should think about who are you bringing this listing to your client in your database right now. And the command campaigns is just a way of generating more leads, right? It doesn't mean you will sell the property today, but you generate more leads. Because once you got the right property or the property that's suitable, you just fire up to all the 100 leads or thousands of leads that you get. That's the way of making use of lead generation. I think the mindset must be shifting. We shouldn't look for everyone that clicks on the ad and wants to buy this today. I think that kind of buyers doesn't exist. But the leads that wants to buy, but based on timing and necessity and choice, that is real, right? That's real, right? Thank you so much, guys, for setting out and having this conversation. I know we are running a little bit out of time, but I want to give you all some time to give some last thoughts as we close. But before that, maybe can I have the announcements, please? Can I have the announcements, please? How many of you are learning something today? If you're learning something, please press 1. Because I think both Jesnin, all three, Jesnin, Murali, and Francis, really pouring out and being very transparent to show you how they're running their business. And it's not complex, guys. It's really not complex. It's just putting the time to do it. And if you're not ready or you don't know how to do it, reach out to someone, right? So we have finished our season 3 of Winning Mondays. It's kind of like we are trying to run the mini series, and this, I promise you, this season won't be this show won't be cancelled. Unlike Netflix series that may be cancelled, right? We won't be cancelled, right? It will be ongoing, right? So next slide, please. We are going to launch our season 4, called Winning Mondays in the Shift Edition. The Shift Edition. Why I decided to work with with Murali is because I believe that we are going to enter into a very, very exciting season of shift. And in this exciting season of shift, we will see some things that we have never seen before. And that's why I want to prepare people for this. So invite your friends, join us every Monday. We'll be going through 7 episodes on the shift edition. How can we shift ourselves, and how can we be prepared for a shifting market? I am expecting a recession in the market sometime last quarter of this year and first quarter of next year. That will be a time frame that we are in the shifting market. So this conversation is to prepare all of us to be ready for that market, right? So please do sign up and be in this conversation. If you are a guest here today, please talk to the person that have send you or register in the link, the virtual support, please post the link for registration of our shift edition signups. Next slide, please. Right, we are going to resume our prop tech event. So those who are hearing this conversation in the past few episodes, please sign up for this prop tech event. It's going to be in Market Center 2 and 3. Sorry, it's going to be in Market Center 3 on Wednesday, 17th of August. If you are a Market Center 2 and Market Center 3 agent, please sign up with your Market Center support. You will be having the PropTech in the Market Center 3 office in Puchong. For MC1 agents, you'll be having it on the 18th of August in MC1 itself. Now, we have heard all those stories from Murali, Francis, and Jesnin. This is a time for you to take action. If you are struggling, come to this event. I promise you someone will be there to journey with you, and you will be able to take action at the highest level, right? Next slide, please. Just to remind everyone to save your date on the 26th of October, we will be running our KW Asia Summit. We have confirmation from other regions that will be joining us. The US counterparts, four of them will be coming to speak to you and to be part of the event. We have confirmation from KW Vietnam, KW Thailand, KW Mongolia has confirmed to be participating in this event. Pending some European continents as well will be coming to this event. We're expecting a 1,500 PAX event on the 26th of October. We'll be sharing with you more details, but just keep that date free. Okay, keep that date free. Right, next slide, please. Right, if you like and share our value stories every day to kind of show everyone what we have, please do click on it, like it, and share with your friends and share in your Facebook. It will help us bring more attention to what we are doing and more attention to what you are doing. Next slide, please. Every Friday, again, we will always have new touch points that will be out to share with your clients. So please download the touchpoint from Workplace. In that link every Friday, without fail, we will be sending you touchpoints so that you can stay in relationship and build that trust with your client, right? Next slide. Right, thank you so much. Francis, maybe I go with Francis first. What's your last advice to some of our audience here who are, can you stop sharing screen, please? Thank you. Who are here and listening to what you're doing and maybe thinking or struggling to start. What's your advice for us?
Try not to overthink whether it will be successful or not, because like with all these advanced tools, even technologies, or even have great coaches and all that, this is merely to show you to the door, and the person, the CEO himself, has to walk through the door, walk through the path. Like a lot of people keep calling me and texting me how you do this and do that, how you manage so many cases and all that. But the fact is that like what Jesnin shared, you can try out with $10 US, which is over 5 days for 44 ringgit over 5 days. You can't, and you can turn around, look at them, and they're having a good meal, and that costs them more than 44 ringgit. So that $10 could possibly change into 5 to 6 figure, income. So stop whining and just do it.
Right. Thank you so much, Francis. Jesnin, how about you? What's your last advice to our guests here who are listening and who might be thinking about how to start but struggling to start? What would your advice be?
Okay, I think very important is actually renew our mindset. Just embrace technology, have faith, and have courage to step out and start doing it. So for people who actually first started their campaign, what they can do is actually go for an area or listing that you are most comfortable and you are most confident and you're most knowledgeable. Because by doing so, if you are choosing the same thing that you are familiar with, you don't need to spend too much time testing what is the best caption or words to put into the image. And if they understand what is the most attractive about the area or the listing, so do something that you are comfortable and you understand well. It will cut short the journey.
Right. Do something that's comfortable, that you understand well. Don't do something that you don't understand well. Don't sell a property that you don't understand well and try to put it on Facebook. I always see people saying that, I put this listing cannot sell here, I put it here and see. You already cannot sell, put inside and see, then it's not helping you, right? Find something that is sellable that can reach out to people straight away. I always think that don't treat this as a DBKL Tong Sampah kind of thing, think about it as what is the best listing that I have that I can put it here to try. I think That's the best effort we can to do. I think that's what Jesnin is trying to tell us. Thank you so
And
much,
also
Jesnin.
very important, they must visit inspect the property first. You know, a lot of times that people just take the listing and then just post it.
Correct,
You really need to go and survey the area, understand the area, know what is the unique selling point, what is the environment, who are your target audience, who you wanted to target, and be straightforward to the ads, whatever message that you want to put. You know, put in full info, because people nowadays are very smart. You know, they don't waste time, you know, to go through all the whole content. You know, just be very straightforward, very short and concise.
Right.
I think that is very important. You know, and you need to try to give him full info, but not a very specific info.
Right.
Yeah, the photos, try to use a high resolution photo, but don't use too many photos.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because
Use the
it gets
photos
too much to process. Too much to process. Yeah.
Correct.
And my
Simple
last word
photos.
is,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
my last word is that enjoy your own journey and focus on your own process.
Right.
Yeah, just have fun.
Thank you for sharing, Jesnin.
Thank
Murali,
you.
how about you? What's your last advice to some of us who are listening today?
Okay, lead generation is one of the important activities for agents, you see. So we have to really constantly doing a lead generation, you know, because the more buyers we have in our hand, the more our business, real estate business will grow, you see. And at the same time, we have to know the numbers as well. We have to go back to the GPS. We have to, you know, let's say we want, okay, as for my case, okay, I've already said, okay, GCI, I want to earn about 200,000 GCI at my area. You see, to hit this 200,000, I need to know my numbers. Okay, the lead generation for me, okay, to hit the 200 GCI for yearly, I need to have 1,111 buyers leads, and then monthly I do have to have around 100 buyers leads, and then weekly about 20, 23, 25 buyers leads to contact me, you see. So I feel that this is very important to set the direction, and we come up with a strategy, you know, to get more buyers. And also we shouldn't depend on one strategy only to generate the leads, but then we also have to focus on other strategy as well, maybe traditional method like distributing flyers, and work out on what strategy works best to generate the leads. Because I have tried in some certain places, maybe FB campaign works very well, you know, but then certain places, like I've personally, like Taman Tronoputra project, you know, when I tried to do a FB campaign, I didn't get much leads from there, you see. And then I tried to use some other strategies, like, you know, I go to factories, you know, for factories nearby there, you know, and then get the appointments and then do a promotion from there. So we have to consider about some other strategy as well, even though we have some kind of advantage using Keller Williams FB campaigns, and which are like, we are the only first in Malaysia. We are having this kind of system that can generate leads for very cheap, you know. The other agency, they don't have this kind of a system. So I would advise like other agents as well to use FB Keller Williams campaigns to bring more business.
Right. Thank you so much, Murali. I love it that you are so in tune with your numbers. 1,100 buyer leads and every month 125 leads per week. You know this number so well, and that's guiding you to spend money in the right place or activities in the right place that will generate you the leads. And I like it that if those areas don't work, what do I do, right? To get the leads, because you know you must get the 23, 25 leads per week to help you hit your goal. Thank you so much, Murali. That's the foundation, guys. The foundation is, if you don't know your numbers, a lot of things won't work for you, right? So having the numbers and clarity in what you do is important. Nick, what's your last advice to everyone here today?
I'm very inspired today. Yeah, thank you for all the sharing. It's a good wrap up for the tech series, right? It's like having like all these great speakers like wrapping it up for us. And my last advice to everyone is like, don't give up. If you have not experienced the success that you desire through KW campaign, don't give up. Right? Just continue to test, continue to try, continue to enjoy your journey and focus on your own pace, right? What Jesnin have shared just now. And I believe success belongs to everyone over here. As long as you are part of the system, we are all here to help you. Do come to PropTech the coming Wednesday and Thursday. We look forward to meet you. You're going to meet Francis and Jesnin over there. No, come over. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Yeah, go ahead, Francis. Yeah.
Not this round. I'm flying to Langkawi, so
okay, all right.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for this session. I want to just add that you are just one lead away, one campaign away, one smart plan away, one follow-up away one opportunity away from a breakthrough from in your life. And if you hear the stories of our three esteemed speakers here, how some of this have helped them change their business, you can have the same story as well, right? All of us have equal opportunity, have equal access to the information and the technology that we have. There's no excuse. All of us have equal, we have all the ability to lock in and do it. All we need is, if all of us have probably unequal understanding, and that's okay, right? And coming together and working together as a team, as a family, is what we need to do to help you all achieve what you want to achieve. So we are all committed to help you to do that. So if you are committed to achieve what you want to achieve, we are committed to help you achieve it, right? So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Francis, Jesnin, and Murali, and Nick. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. We look to see you forward and move forward in your business as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good rest of the day. Hope this has helped you set up a good week ahead in your business. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. Take care.